What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to Driven by Purpose. I'm really glad that you're here. Today's episode is going to be a run-on from last week, and really got some comments. So last week I was talking about my story, but I ended with some relationship stuff and really gave an example about being in a relationship with somebody like I used to be. And so I got some comments and some feedback on that, so I'm going to expound on that today. Disclaimer. I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, I am none of those things. So everything today is strictly my opinion, my belief, my faith, and from my own healing journey. First of all, I am not advocating for divorce. I am not advocating for breakups. Relationships are hard. They take both people 100% committed, 100% all in, doing the work, putting in the effort, merging those two backgrounds and experiences into one book. It takes some work. Just saying. So I'm talking about those relationships. I'm talking the commitment and the love that is being poured in, and when it's not being reciprocated. Now, I am not talking about, your person forgot to take the garbage out one time and deuces, I'm out. This isn't working for me. Obviously, you're not committed. That is not where you want to be or what you want to be doing. So that is not what I'm talking about today. What I really want to discuss today, and again, this is from my own healing journey. This is stuff that I've really understood about what people do and really put into words what it makes the other person feel like. And that's really what I wanted to really talk about today, because you are not a convenience. You are not an option. You are valuable, you are worth it, and I really just want to go through this today to really reflect on how many times that you've poured your heart and soul into somebody only for them to turn around and shatter you with the very same love that you offered. How many nights have you spent just staring at the ceiling, wondering, what did I do wrong and why wasn't I enough? Now, you weren't just giving, you were sacrificing. You weren't merely loving, you were investing. You thought that they would see your heart, your effort, and your loyalty. And when you gave them your best, you didn't do it halfway. You were giving everything you had. You poured every ounce of your being into that relationship. Whether it was love, friendship, partnership, whatever dynamic it was, you showed up for them in ways that most people wouldn't. You listened when they needed somebody to lean on. You supported them through their struggles. You sacrificed parts of yourself, believing in their potential, their goodness, their worth. You were there. But let's face it, not everyone you give your best to is going to value it. I'm going to say that again. Not everyone you give your best to is going to value it. Some people won't appreciate what they've been given because they've never learned to recognize true goodness. But not everyone you give your best to will see its value. Some may not even know how to appreciate the pureness, the pure love that you offer, because they've never learned to value what comes from a genuine heart. Instead of recognize your efforts as a gift, they may take advantage of it, exploiting your kindness as weakness. And as you kept giving, hoping they would wake up, that they would wake up and realize your value, that they just continued to drain you until you had nothing left and you were completely exhausted. And then they turned it around and made you feel like you were the problem. Have you been there? Do you know somebody who's there? And as their true colors began to show, began to come to light, you kept giving, hoping that one day they would realize how much you cared and finally value you the way that you deserved. Let me remind you of a crucial truth. They didn't deserve you. They didn't deserve you. They didn't deserve the love that you poured into them or the lengths that you went for them. They didn't deserve the patience you showed when they didn't reciprocate, the late nights worrying about their well-being, or the sacrifices made to ease their life. They didn't deserve you. Not because you aren't lovable, but because they lacked the capacity to love somebody as incredible as you. Not everyone can handle a pure heart. Hear me. Not everyone can handle a pure heart. They might manipulate or control it because they don't understand how to handle something so real. Some are so accustomed to chaos that when someone or something genuine enters their life, they view it as an inconvenience rather than a blessing. How crazy does this sound? But this is real life. This is what people are going through. So used to this chaos that when genuine love comes along, they don't know how to embrace it. This is not your fault. It's theirs. You opened your heart to them, trusting them with your energy, your love, your very essence. You are not unlovable. They simply lack the capacity to love somebody like you. Hear me. You are not unlovable. You gave them a gift, a part of yourself that most people keep guarded. You let them into your life, your heart, your world. You entrusted them with your love, your energy, your time. But instead of honoring that gift, they abused it. Maybe for a while you thought that they would change. You thought it would change. You believed that maybe if you loved them harder or explained it more, they would realize how lucky they were to have you. But listen, you could have given them the entire universe and it still wouldn't have been enough. Whatever the reason, whatever the name you want to place on it, you could call it narcissism, you could call it avoidant, dismissive, any of that stuff. You can call it whatever you want. You cannot build a healthy relationship with somebody whose reality changes like shifting sand. The ground is never stable. The foundation of trust and respect is not there. It shifts because their reality changes depending on what benefits them in the moment. They only show up when it's convenient or when it benefits them and pushes you away, especially when you need them the most. When instead of building and making the relationship a priority, they're keeping you at arm's length. They're making decisions that are against you and against the relationship. Their pride blinds them to the truth, blinds them to the grace and even to love. It is not your fault. They don't see correction as an opportunity to grow, but as a threat to their fragile self. So they lash out instead of actually listening, instead of actually understanding. They're protecting their ego. They're protecting their pride. They don't seek to understand. Their goal is to control. Your valid concerns, hear me, your valid concerns get twisted into personal attacks in their eyes. And now you aren't the one addressing an issue. You are the issue. It's not about seeking truth. It's about self-preservation for them. The hard part and true wisdom is to stop trying to confront or even to explain, because you are wasting your energy and you are disrupting your peace. Nothing that you say or do will change them. Listen, hear me. I'm speaking this because this is who I used to be. I used to be on the other end of this. This is talking about me. So hear me when I say this. Nothing you do or say will change them. Nothing. And that is humbling. That is heartbreaking. God doesn't call us to fix other people's lives. God doesn't call us to fix other people's hearts. That's His job. That's the only reason I'm here today. Nothing anybody said or did but God changed my heart. Entrust. If you are in this situation, if these words resonate with you, or you know somebody who's going through this, entrust the battle to the Lord. It is His and only His to fight. And that's, God loves the impossible. God loves a hardened heart that everybody's tried everything. Everybody's given everything. And literally the only thing that can make this work or change this person is a miracle. And that's when God steps in. When you really give it to Him. When we are at the end of ourselves and you give it to Him and say, Lord, I can't. Nothing I'm going to do is going to change this. Only You can do it. And only in Your time. So Lord, give me strength if I need to stay. Or give me strength if I need to go. Regardless, give it to God. Let Him do the work. And trust the battle to Him. Only He can reach into the depths of a hardened heart and bring true transformation. That's me. That's what happened with me. So what I want to talk about today, so Matthew 7:6 in the Bible, it says this: do not give what is holy to the dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. That is talking about something valuable. Your love, your care, your loyalty, your compassion, they are valuable. And when you are in a situation like this, you are casting those valuable things before the pigs, and they are trampling it. And they will trample it under their feet, and then they will tear you to pieces. Again, you can put whatever label you want on the person that's on the other side of this, the aggressor, the pig, if you will. But they will tear you to pieces. They will disrespect you. They will tear you down. And you need to discern, you need God's help where to spend your energy. It's not in explaining. It's not in confronting, because none of that will change anything. Proverbs 15:12 says, mockers do not love one who corrects them, nor will they go to the wise. That's saying these people are not going to seek the help. They're not looking to understand. They are not going to change on their own. They need God. You need to be that conduit. You need to be that person. And I'm not telling you to leave. I'm not telling you to stay. Regardless, you need to pray. You need to go to God and give it to Him. Complete surrender. Lord, I got no more words. I got no more actions. Only You can take care of this. And what I want to say before we end this, that loyal people take this so personally because we wouldn't have done that garbage to them. You are that loyal person. You are that valuable person. And I know that we grow up in situations where, we're committed and marriage is a covenant and relationships are commitment and all of these things. And I value that. I truly do. But I want to say, if you are in an unsafe place, get out. If you are being beat up, get out. Mentally, spiritually, physically, any of those things. You need to protect your peace, because unconditional love, which we just said a whole lot of words about unconditional love, giving and sacrificing and being patient when they didn't deserve it, when they weren't reciprocating the effort being poured in. Unconditional love does not mean unconditional tolerance. We have to protect ourselves. We have to protect our spirit, our peace. And the only way to do that, whether you're leaving, whether you're staying, is to give it to God. Bring it to Him. Don't be like the mocker that I talked about in Proverbs. Get help. Reach out. Seek to understand. Be better than. I'm very passionate about this. Again, this is something that I lived. And protect your peace. I know firsthand the damage and the hurt that breaking trust and being disloyal and not giving effort and gaslighting and manipulating and lying and all of these things. I know firsthand the damage that causes. So I am with you. I understand. You need to get people around you. Get people around you that you can lean on, that you can support on, whatever that looks like, whatever that might be. If it's a hobby, if it's a yoga class, or whatever, get some people around you. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Surround yourself with wisdom. I said like-minded people, but I don't always advocate for that because you also need to see the other side of things. Again, relationships are hard. And you need to go to somebody who's not biased. If it's a normal dynamic of a relationship and you're just butting heads with your person, get a non-biased person and really understand the feelings of your person. Really understand that, wow, what I did hurt them, and I don't want to hurt them. So there's another side of this. If you're not this person who's in a relationship with this craziness, there's a partnership to be had, a true partnership, and that comes from love, compassion, and loyalty. And if that's being reciprocated, hold on to that. That is gold. That is a diamond. Sometimes you're gonna go through things, and that diamond's gonna get thrown into the dirt a little bit. Work together to clean it off. Work together to clean it off because it is worth it. You are worth it. You are valuable. So I pray that whatever situation you're in, that God gives you peace, God gives you actions, God gives you direction. And regardless, if you're staying, if you're going, if you're working with your partner on this stuff, I pray for you. I pray that you get strength and success and wisdom to work through the things that you need to work through. And I love love. I love relationships, and I want to see you successful, and I want to see you valued because you are valuable. So find where the people see your value because you are worth it. You are worth it. So thanks for watching, and I hope you got something from today's video. And do me a favor, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you next time on Driven by Purpose.